welcome to the very first episode of Digital First Podcast. We are very happy to finally launch this podcast and share our conversations with you. I am your host, Akhona Mbhele, and today we are talking everything digital marketing with our Managing Director, Rendani. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
So, what is Joren Digital's story? Can you take us through the history, your role, and the services that you provide?
Okay, let me start by saying thank you so much for all the team, for you, for hosting this podcast. And just to get into your question, the history of Joren Digital is one that starts when we started this company as a web development studio. It was a communication agency, and our idea was to build a web development studio, and from there it progressed into a digital agency. Then we started adding more services into the agency, where we started adding services like your social media management, your email marketing, your advertising. But in the beginning, all of it started as a web development studio.
So, as a managing director, what role do you play in the agency?
I play a role of everything, actually. My biggest role now, okay, it all depends on where you ask me. If you ask me today, I ask me today.
Today, yes.
My role today is to ensure that the agency has resources to function. Resources means that it has the space, it has the team, a good team, it has a good working environment. It also has money to pay for bills.
Yes.
And so my role really is on that, and also to make sure that our business continues to function, and it's a going concern. So my role is around that. So if you find me every day, you'll normally finding me dealing with those kind of things, like where we're ensuring that the business is functioning and the operation of the business is on par.
Okay, so helping businesses achieve their digital goals is at the core of what we do. So can you take us through specific ways that Joren Digital help businesses achieve their digital goals?
We help businesses in many ways. One of the most important services that we provide is ensuring that businesses are able to communicate their messages online. And this can either be on their website, or it can either be on their social media. So we assist businesses to communicate their propositions to their audience. So if, for instance, I'll give you an example, we can help a business that is functioning to create an emailing system that they are able to communicate to their clients or their audience. They're able to send important information about specials. At the same time, we can integrate that same very much information into social media, where we can get people to then know about whether it's a special or it's a sale or it's a product that they are selling. And also we can then connect that same product into the website. And including that, we can then add it also onto advertising, where we then advertise, we amplify the message of that organization to people who might not be in touch with their website, or who might not have come across their brand. So our biggest role as an organization is actually to integrate those elements and ensure that an organization is able to communicate their proposition to the market.
So digital marketing has evolved significantly through the years.
Yes.
What would you say has been the biggest shift, and how has the businesses been able to adapt to the shifts?
Digital marketing evolved a lot because, when digital marketing started, it started on top of a physical world. So, for instance, I'll give you an example. Before we had emails, people used to send each other letters. So
Yes.
there would be like, if you wanted to send someone a message in London, your letter will first go from here, go into a ship, and then the ship goes to London, or it goes to America. But then the digital world shifted that when there was an introduction of digital messaging, where you can now start to send an email. Then the email built into the internet itself. The internet now is built in a way that now today, we are at a situation where you no longer even need to go to a shop. You can buy a shoe online, and you just pick a size and a color, and the shoe arrives at your doorstep. These are things that people used to be able to go and have to first fit in, or you have to stay next to a mall. For now, what the digital world has done is that it has closed the gap of ensuring that even people within far-reaching places can still access services that were not been able to access in terms where, for instance, you didn't stay next to a mall. So I could say, from my opinion, that the digital space has changed that. It has really bring that gap, and it has really revolutionized the way that businesses do provide services to people, or provide products to people in the world.
Okay, so digital first is a term that we hear a lot. What does it mean, and why is it important?
Digital first is important because of where we are going. Where we are going now is the world. We are entering a new shift where we have a world where it's going to be fully much based on digital. Already we are living a world which fully much based on digital. We are now ordering food online. We are now buying electricity online.
Yes.
We are banking online. We are dating online. We are, what else? People are doing a whole lot of things that everything that they do, we are working online remotely.
Yes.
So there's a whole lot of information, or the way that we conduct ourselves that is happening online. Even now, actually, I was checking something that is to do with something called decentralized, and where now people can even buy land online. You can buy digital land. There's a whole lot of things. People have gigs and what do you call it, parties online. So digital first is a place where we are going, where we are almost there. We've arrived, where the next generation that is coming will normally be living in. And I think it's going to be a very interesting world, including that now we have currencies and tokens, and yeah, a lot of things, transactions are happening online than happening physically. Even money, a lot of people are spending their money digitally than they have physically.
Yes. Can you share a success story that truly embodies the digital first approach, and how it's had an impact on businesses?
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of success stories I can give. I mean, we all know that back in the day, if you had to book a hotel, you had to first go to where the hotel is. These days, you can book a hotel online and go, and the hotel becomes a place where you go. Now, for instance, like, let me give you an example. A place like Uber. Uber has disrupted the business. You used to go to the taxi rank to get a taxi, or you would stand by the street at place to get a taxi. But these days, you don't have to do that. You have to, what you can do now these days is that you just order your taxi online, and then the taxi comes to your home. But the same thing as about, I'll give you an example where a disruption like an Airbnb. We have a disruption where people own houses, and then they don't live inside those houses. Or let's just say I own a beautiful apartment. Airbnb now these days disrupt that industry. It allows you to rent out that house, for you to post those pictures of your house, and for people to be able to see your house and book it. And that transaction fully happens online. You don't even have to meet the person. Remember, back in the day, if it was 1950, you have to first see the person. Are you coming into my house? These days, you can verify the person online. You can get to know whether they are a good tenant. There are a lot of lots of things that are happening like online, like the disruption of digital first. It's something that is really changing, including now what we're talking about, artificial intelligence. I mean, we're entering a space where now we have AI like ChatGPT, like your DeepSeek, that are allowing people to really find information much quicker, to write reports faster. We're able to compute a lot of big data. easily
Yes.
with using like a chat GPT. You can put a lot of data. Let's just say you have a report that you used to do manually. You can put all that, tell it to simplify it, and then you are able to send it to executives and say, this is the report. So yeah.
Yeah, so you would say that businesses switching to digital marketing was a good thing. Maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the shift?
Yeah, any business that is not shifting to digital will actually suffer in the long run. Um, Digital, if you are not yet in a digital space, unless I don't see any reason why any business would remain not digitally tied. Digital is the future, and the future where we are going is a future where we are going to have. If you look at something like, I'll give you an example like Neuralink. I don't know if you know about Neuralink, but there's something where we are now connecting computers to humans. In a few years, let's just say 10 years from now, we would have people who are half human, half robots. We are going to a level where we will even have people who have computer brains. So
Okay.
that is the level of where we are going. So we will be at a level where people are able to compute a lot of data. They are able to remember and store all their images and everything within their computer. You will no longer even need to study to go to university. You could just download all your study material in your head in your computer, and that's where we're going. So even for business today, any business that is not thinking about digital or transforming their business into a digital sphere, they're going to be left behind. It's either they're going to go bankrupt or they will not exist in the next coming years.
Yeah, okay. So this year, Joren Digital is celebrating 12 years in business. What does this mean for you and your team, and what advice do you have for someone who's looking into starting their own digital agency one day?
Two questions. They should have just split them. Yeah. 12 years. One thing I could say is that we never thought we would be 12 years. I remember when we started this agency, we thought, oh, there's just too many agencies. Where are we gonna even get business to work? And there was just a whole lot of great companies that were existing in South Africa. So it was a bit of a scary venture to start an agency. But 12 years, we celebrate our team. We have worked with a lot of young people. There are a lot of young people that have come out of this agency that are working in other bigger agencies than ours, and some young people who are contributing in industry. So we have groomed a lot of people. This business has created a lot of jobs, something that I would never thought of, and we have evolved. We started in a very small, tiny office. Today we found ourselves in this office that we are able to sit with at least a room to breathe. In some of the offices we have, we didn't even have a small space to breathe. So we are really happy about it, and I feel grateful that the company has grown. And what I like actually about this today's Joren is that most people understand their roles and what they are able to do, and they are able to take that role and run with it, which is very good. But also, to answer your last question around my advice for someone who wants to start an agency would be that it's agency work requires a lot of business development or business work. You need to be working very hard to find business. So anyone who wants to start, you really you can be very brilliant. You can be the best designer in the world. You can be the most creative person, but if you don't have business, or you are not bringing in clients, you will not be able to survive. So I would say that if you want to start, you must start from that part where you look for business, and then you deal with the rest, go in that side. Because the creative part, yes, it's part that it can be there where you are very brilliant in creative work, but without the business itself, you will not even have a business. So that would be my advice, that know how to find work, know how to network, and how to look for new business, and then you will be able to survive.
Rendani, thank you for joining us today and sharing great insights on digital marketing. Ladies and gents, that is the end of our episode. Catch us next time on Digital First Podcast. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.
3, 2,